Well, good morning, everybody. Welcome to Metabolism Monday. How is your metabolism after the weekend? It was a wild weekend for sure. Some people had catastrophic snow coming down. Duck Lady got a foot of snow. Angel P got a foot of snow. Still cold in the mornings, but at least here or wherever you are, at least it's warm. I can just speak for Oklahoma. It's warming up in the afternoons. Preschool Granny, look at that. You got a new badge and everything. We switched to the Valentine Day badges. Yes, we did. Well, does anybody here eat groundhog? Asking for a friend. I hear they're yummy. I know with the winter blues and everyone tired of digging out and icy roads, they were kind of hoping that Puxatawny Phil, would not see his shadow today, and we would go into spring. Damn, Phil. Okay, Radio Gods is not going to eat it. Okay, just me will eat a groundhog. This is breaking news, everyone. Just me will eat a groundhog. Before we get to horrible news we got this morning, let's go ahead and tell everybody good morning. Welcome your neighbor. All right, while we get to it, we have 130 people in here. It would mean the world to me, sun, moon, and stars, if you guys would hit that like. And when it becomes available, if you could hit the hype on any of the videos. It costs nothing. It's just a simple click, click, click. All right, let's get to it. I already see a few people in here are hungry for groundhog. Damn it, Phil. Damn it. I always wonder who takes care of Phil throughout the year before they have Groundhog Day. And obviously there's been other Phils. Just wondering if he's got they obviously don't let him just run around all over Pennsylvania and pick him back up, on February 1st and put him up on the stage and wait for him. I've heard they're kind of mean. Oh, Daphne's in here. Daphne said, oh, they're mean little things. Well, that's a pretty good segue because Dawn Wells is a mean big thing. And so is our friend Cant. As you know, today is Metabolism Monday. We are live and shit. And I want to talk about what they have been doing to our friend Nana for Life.
It's fucking live, you dumbass.
No, it's not.
It is.
No, it isn't.
Can't stop.
Okay, whatever. Play your little game, Donnie.
All right, I'm gonna have to go. She don't think we're live and shit, okay? And she's fucking going off and acting like an alcoholic. I have to get off here now.
That's fine.
I
Thank you
appreciate
so
y'all.
much for talking to us.
Don, I'll
All right,
talk to you later.
All right, bye.
Thank you so much.
Bye,
Okay.
Candace.
Let's go
Thank
to
you.
Victor Rager.
It's fucking live, you dumb bitch. You are stupid, man.
I just discussed my back. That's all I asked.
Fucking live, you fucking stupid bitch.
Oh, they just seen that. You're a dumbass. They just seen you punch me in my throat.
Whatever, man.
You're a dumbass. You're a real dumbass. You got a real dumb fucking ass. They just seen when you throw me in the punch. Well, you're a dumbass.
Did you just get You're a real dumbass. Well, they are. Okay. Nana for Life, who I just adore, posted this over the weekend on her Facebook. She addresses it to Summer. Summer, I'm so sorry your own daddy is taking down your posters. Per his request, I haven't put up any more posters at you and your brother's former home, even though your mom and dad gave me permission for 4.5 years. However, I will never stop hanging your posters in Beach Creek and Van Hill Road until you are home. She goes on to say, Nana loves you real big, even though I've never met you. I only have had a few posters with me today, but don't worry. As soon as the weather breaks, I'll be back. Much love always, Nana and your army. Well, I tell you what, that was really rough to read. Okay? Really rough. And this is on YouTube. I posted it on the post tab. Okay? It's for everybody, not just for members. You all had a lot to say. Let's get to your comments, shall we? And I hope that Nana saw all of these because she has a lot of love with all the comments and she got a lot of thank yous and accolades. Fada Jean said, Nana is truly a good woman. Continue prayers for Summer to be found and the truth be revealed as to what happened to this beautiful girl. Yes. Lena Jams said, the Wells act as if they misplaced a phone or their Dollar General shopping bags. Just an inconvenience. Yet strangers love and care so much about Summer. God bless her. Okay, a lot more bless Nana, stuff like that. Joy Jones, she said, I just burst into tears. We won't stop until the truth comes to light. Nana replied to Joy and said, I squalled my face off again. It's the 4th time Dawn has taken down Summer's posters. For the love of Cain. The 4th time he has taken down her posters. Grieving Mother said, thank you very much for doing what most of Summer's army wants to do for her, but are unable to do so. You are nowhere alone in loving Summer Moon Utah Wells as if she's your very own. Please never, ever let anyone stop you from putting the posters up for Summer. Summer, baby girl, never give up because we'll never give up on you. And Nana responded and she said, I have to remind myself Summer isn't mine, but aren't all babies Nana's babies? And I thought that was one of the sweetest things I've ever heard. Now, if you remember, if you don't, you can refresh your memory because we have a whole playlist. And during the dedication of the Christmas tree, there was a showdown at the OK Corral when Nana was there to help decorate the tree. And Dawn decided to barge in and yell at her in front of everyone. She must have felt an inch tall. And I'm going to go ahead and guess and say she was probably scared. She was probably scared. And that she, and it was all about her hanging flyers. About her hanging flyers. Well, we're going to look at some of the other behaviors that we have seen over the years with Dawn and Can. And I'm going to post the link because I want to hear what all of you think about this too. This is from our friend, Carrie Moody. Love her to pieces. She has been major, major sick. In the hospital, pneumonia, you name it. I can't tell you how many antibiotics they put this woman on. And it's just something she's having a hard time shaking.
On at the same time. And Morbid really took a great opportunity to ask Candace a lot of really, really good questions. And I hope that, the two of them, she would be willing to do a more deeper interview with him because he really did a great job, I thought, anyway. They discussed her having RSV.
Hold on. Lockdown with April C. Law enforcement only figured out the real timeline recently. Give it time. And they reached out to you. They reached out to you and you answered the phone and they said, we're looking for lockdown with April C. Maybe talk to Lisa K. Ruitz about things like that. You'd probably get a lot further. I guarantee you would at least have a listening ear. I promise. I promise. She would talk your ear off about that subject. But as for right now, the Amber Alert says June 15th, 2021. There she is again, April C. You're always a pleasure. You too, girl. You have no idea how much I enjoy your comments. You have no idea. Hey, speaking of Lisa K., I guess she did a little humanitarian mission over the weekend and called the police on Ernie Shell. Would anyone like to discuss that on the show tomorrow? Would anyone like to discuss it? Very easy. Put yes or put no. April, she said apparently. Oh, girlfriend, there's no apparently to it. I treasure your comments. I treasure your comments. I do.
A recent incident of her being harassed in Kingsport, the lack of law enforcement updates, that she said she does try to keep in contact with law enforcement. They also spoke about the state of her and Dawn's relationship, harassment online, and how she deals with it, whether or not she would ever leave Ben Hill Road. They discussed her thoughts somewhat on what happened to Summer and how she feels about not having her 3 sons and the state of her and Dawn's relationship with them. Also a little bit about her mental health. But the last part, I did clip separately because
Aggie, good morning, my friend. I saw you're getting another snowstorm too. I believe they said it's going to be a lake effect system. Let's all say a little internet prayer for everyone that's getting these bad storms. Shall we? Shall we? April C. I never knew I had that big of an impression on you. How can we change that? I just have different timeline theory. It's not that dramatic. I didn't say it was dramatic, but it's something worth discussing, right? And you've discussed it since 2021. I absolutely appreciate it. I would love for you to grab the link and come up and talk to me. Like I said, treasure those comments. I do. Matter of fact, Justin over at Clutch the Pearls said he would like to do an exclusive interview with you about metadata and inconsistent timelines. But he's a much bigger channel than me, so I'm just going to let the big fish get that worm.
up until that point, I was feeling somewhat proud of what appears to be, to me at least, to be a growth in Candace. The following clip is just really hard to ignore, at least for me anyway. I know many others most likely have clipped it, but I wanted to give my take on it. I wanted to scream at Candace and say, this is why you don't have your kids. Get up and take care of yourself.
Anybody in here ever wanted to scream at Candace? Hold on. Is ICU in here? If not, I'll screenshot it and I'll send it to her. Okay, ICU, if you're in here, April C is flattered about the exclusive interview on Clutch the Pearls, but she's going to decline. Well, So much for that. They're winning. That's it.
Have your kids get up and take care of yourself. You know, I won't lie. If one of my kids went missing, I don't know what I would do, but I have no doubts. I'd probably bury myself in alcohol to not feel the pain, or at least numb it somehow. I've never been into any kind of drug, so that wouldn't be my route, but alcohol certainly would. But if it was alcohol or drugs or unclean home or whatever the reason that was keeping me from seeing my other children that were
Carrie and I have had these conversations before, and I've told her Candace is an equal opportunity substance abuser. Okay. If you got it, she'll snort it. She'll take it. She'll smoke it. She'll drink it. Okay. That's all there is to it. And I'm telling you, if it's not nailed down to the floor, she's going to take it from you. Just like when she had that big shit fit saying, when Cam and Allie were at my house, they were snoring pills, and I didn't want those things around my house because it ain't helping me. And I corrected it for her. I go, because they wouldn't share with you. Because they wouldn't share with you. You were not offended by Cam and Allie snoring pills. You were mad that they didn't give you something to snore.
still with me, you can bet your ass I would seek help, and it most certainly would not take 2.5+ years to do so. With that said, I'm pretty certain of what I heard in the clip, but you can take a listen and be the judge for yourself as always. And also, I'm not a Daisy hater. There's really maybe one creator that I strongly dislike. But shame on you, Daisy.
I love Carrie. I'm not a Daisy hater. Well, hate's a strong word, but in context, we know how people mean it when they say they hate something or someone. It's overused, as we know. But I'll just say for Carrie, that makes one of us. Okay. And I love how in her good little Oklahoma way, she's like, I'm not a Daisy hater. Then she goes, but remember, but negates what you just said. And sorry, but I did chuckle a little bit at that. Carrie she's a hoot.
You claim to be her friend, yet you edited the end of this live that discussed Sherry and your sister and all that bull crap, yet you left this part in. I tell you what, if Candace was any one of my friends, that entire clip would have been removed so damn fast. It only takes a few minutes to do so. Anyway, take a listen and let me know the thoughts in your comments below. Meanwhile, I am working on a review of this live that I will post later today. And I will leave the link to the live in the description below. And if you made it this far, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. Please give the video a thumbs up. And if you're not already a subscriber, please consider becoming one. Until next time, stay safe and be kind.
And Candace, I don't know your situation. I mean, maybe you have substance.
Now, I will say that this was bad planning for Daisy. And it seems like a lot of people on her panel, I can't really say much about it because it's happened to me before too. When, oil and water, they don't mix. And you don't realize that you've got two people on your panel that are oil and water, if you know what I mean. Hell, I have people reach out to me going, I had to leave your chat because this person was in there and I was about to lose my mind. And I'm like, okay, you do you. But Daisy has a way of just infiltrating the panel. And when you have someone on there like Candace, it really needs to be a little more intimate than that. Because for one, you don't even know who this morbid guy is. You have no idea who he is. You don't know what he's going to ask. You know nothing about his criminal history. You know nothing about this person. He's a skeleton with a lighter or whatever that is. And he takes over the show, which we've seen many times on Daisy, and he starts interviewing Candace. Now, wait for it, because you're going to hear Don lose his lunch in the background.
Subscriber, please consider becoming one. Until next time, stay safe and be kind.
And Candace, I don't know your situation. I mean, maybe you have substance abuse or something in the past or whatnot. But how does that judge you as an individual and a mother? Look,
I'm not gonna lie, I smoke pot. Oh,
So-
big deal.
but how does that even put you in the realm of the conspiracy theories that they play out there? When you're suffering as a mom,
I do know that people theorize about this case often. Speculation's a thing. Perception's a thing. But it's not reality. It's not reality. What you think is really going on is not a reality. It's not concrete evidence, okay? So when he's talking about conspiracy, we know enough about the parents of Summer Wells and her brothers that there's no conspiracy. Now, as far as how she disappeared, that is totally up for the authorities. That is totally up for the authorities.
suffering as a mom, trying to figure out what happened to your child, as well as Don.
What are you doing?
I think Don's.
What are you doing?
Better stop yelling.
What the fuck? Where'd you get that?
Stop yelling, you're live.
Okay, so she took a pill of Dawn's and she's live. Listen to it again. He's like, what are you doing? At first, I thought he was mad that she said on there that she smokes pot. Okay.
Be kind.
And Candace, I don't know your situation. I mean, maybe you have substance abuse.
Hold on. Spooky Lou Who? That was a math crisis. Oh, a meth crisis. Or are you talking about Ernie? Yeah, we'll talk about that on tomorrow's show. Today, I'm all geared up for Dawn. Dawn and Candace are getting it for taking down the Fliers for Summer. And to be quite honest, we don't know what crisis Ernie is having because he's under a doctor's care. I can't speculate on that. That's not fair.
Use or something in the past or whatnot. But how does that judge you as an individual and a mother? Look,
I'm not gonna lie, I smoke pot. Oh, big deal.
But how does that even?
Okay, so she sits there and she says, I smoke pot. Okay. That's not what set Dawn off. That is not what set him off. She took a pill from Dawn. I don't know what kind of pill it was, but it obviously got him very angry and very anxious.
Even put you in the realm of the conspiracy theories that they play out there. When you're suffering as a mom, trying to figure out what happened to your child, as well as Don.
What are you doing?
I think Don's.
What are you doing?
Better stop yelling.
What the fuck? Where'd you get that?
Stop yelling, you're live.
No.
Sorry, guys. I'm okay.
Oh, she got a pill of Dawn's. So I go back to what I said before about how she said she was so offended about Cam and Allie that they were snoring pills at her house and it offended her. She did not want that around her home, blessed and draped in Christianity, and just couldn't stand to see something so offensive. I mean, burnt her eyes to even think about it. But there you have Dawn going, where the hell did you get that? The pill? Well, we know she's not talking about baby aspirin for her pacemaker heart. Uh-huh. Yeah. And then Daisy just drops her off the panel. And like Carrie said, she didn't even edit it out. Candace and Dawn are sitting there clearly having a fight over a pill. What to do? What to do? Good morning to you, Boston moms. How are you, beautiful? How are you? I see Aunt Sherry's in here. Mirror, Sherry. Mirror. Mirror, Sherry. By the way, if you look, I don't know if you're on a phone, tablet, computer, whatever, there is a link pinned at the top. If you want to grab it, you want to come up and shoot the shit with me, have at it. I would love it because I'm assuming that we're all in the same boat here. I'm pretty upset that 4 times now, Dawn has taken down Summer's flyers. That in itself is gross and egregious. I'm also very upset that it made Nana for Life feel so bad when she's only doing the right thing. She's only doing something nice for Summer. That's all she's doing. She's keeping her name out in the area where they believe she could be and that we know for a fact she disappeared from. That is horrible. So I go back to my question I asked on Facebook this morning. Why would anybody take those posters down? Why? Radio God said if I had my headphones, I'd grab the link. You don't need headphones. Nope. All right. Criminal broke down Dawn's criminal behaviors over the years. I believe the way that she synchronizes this, it's just organically beautiful the way she put it down, because it would explain to you, because a lot of things we don't remember and a lot of things we have forgot. We've all slept since then, if you know what I mean. Other things go on in our lives. And it explains why maybe he would go and sabotage a Christmas tree dedication. Or why he would take down posters of his own missing daughter. Well, look who's knocking at the back door. Mirror, Aunt Sherry.
Mirror, Brooks.
So what do you think about this? Nana for Life being bullied again.
I think it's horrendous. I think it's so counterproductive for her to go and put up all of these signs, and she has not stopped. And for him to go and take them down is just, it's unbelievable. Why would a father of a missing child take down those posters when she has done nothing but try to help find Summer? She's a very sweet person. She's a hardworking person, and she has a passion for Summer and her being found. And it's just so counterproductive. And I don't understand it.
It is for sure.
I mean, I'd be putting signs everywhere.
Yeah. She said she's going to keep putting them on Beach Creek, and she's going to keep putting them on Van Hill Road, but she's not going to put them near 110 Ben Hill Road. Boston said, wait, Nana's being bullied again? You mean since the Christmas tree thing? Oh, yeah. She put in the comments on, I posted this on Saturday on YouTube, I made a YouTube post. And she put in there, this is the 4th time he's done this to her. The 4th time. So she made an agreement, okay? Little meeting of the minds, if you want to call it that she won't post any more of them around the house. But she's going to continue to post them on Beach Creek and Van Hill Road. Well, I still think if Don happens to see him, he's going to take him down. Because I think we all know how he is. You know, I mean,
It's really, it's just crazy though for him to take them down. I cannot understand that to save my life. Well, I guess I can, but it's not pleasant.
if Nana for Life paid them and said, I'm going to rent your tree at the bottom of your driveway, would that be okay? Then they wouldn't touch it. They'd be like, oh, it's getting a little windy out there. Might have to have you put another one up. You know, space is important. Gonna have to get some more money from you, Nana.
The child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
I always knew that something was going to happen to someone.
We had such a great love for each other.
I think she knew something too.
Not cooperating.
I have 7 alibis.
Father and
Candace ain't got none. She's going down.
Candace ain't got none. She's going down. Anyone that's ever spoken to Candace one-on-one, did she ever reflect on that statement that Don made about how Candace is going down? Another thing he said, that she will eventually go down.
Yes. He's just taking the heat off himself, that's all.
Okay.
Don't you think so? He's just throwing it all on Candace.
Well, that would have been easy to do when he got home from work on the 15th of June, 2021. But here we are.
So much time has passed.
But she was sexually active at a very young age. And I wasn't going around asking for her driver's license or whatever. She wanted to touch me at first.
And what's the age difference when you're 5, if you remember?
So this is when Don is talking about the essay that he inflicted on Jeannie, Mary, Rachel, and my understanding is there's a few others. We just don't have their names. I don't need their names. His
We know the pattern, don't we?
Yeah. 5 seems to be the golden mark for him. And also, you know, his excuse is he didn't know these girls' ages. It's not like he checks people's driver's licenses. What a thing to say. It's not like I checked their driver's licenses and they all wanted to touch me. Okay. We're not talking about a blind person that wants to feel your face to get a idea of what you look like. And I'm going to go ahead and say none of them asked to touch you in any inappropriate way.
Be 12, about 12, I think, 12, 13.
Okay.
I was a 12-year-old boy. I didn't know any better. I'm sorry that I did not know any better.
So you were 5.
Yeah, 5.
You know, whatever, which I know was bad and I know it was wrong and I should have known better, but that little girl was sexually active, but it's not exactly all my damn fault.
The only thing I learned anything from.
Okay, Sherry, you're in the hot seat. Mirror, Sherry, let me ask you. What do you think when Don says he's talking about one of the sisters? What do you think when he said that this sister of his was very sexually promiscuous at the age of 5?
5-year-olds do not even think about those kind of things. They don't think like that. Their thinking is innocuous. It's not about sex. They are not even. They probably don't even know about sex. Most of them at 5 years of age.
Mhm.
And for him to be 12 and for her to be 5, that's a pretty big difference there. That's
Well-
a 7-year difference. And I would he needs to be charged for those things that he did, because he destroyed those women's lives forever. They
Mhm.
will never be the same.
Mhm.
And it's a learned thing. It's also learned. So who did it to Don? So he's doing it to others. That's what I go back into the familial
Mhm.
pattern.
And at the age of 12, I would say for a boy, the curiosity is there, the hormones are kicking in, the voice is changing. So for him to say he was just never not taught no better, he didn't know that was wrong.
That's ridiculous.
Mhm.
That's ridiculous. I knew what I was doing at 12 years of age, didn't you?
Yeah, and it didn't. Little kids pissed me off. Okay, my sister's younger than me, and I was just like, ugh, get her away from me. Ugh, get her away from me. Little kids drove me nuts. It's like, don't. I hated being cornered at church. Anyone asking me to babysit, I'm like, for the love of God, not me. God, no. But no, not he did. He didn't know no better.
I was looking at damn dirty magazines, and that portrayed a pretty bad stuff. So if you're going by that kind of stuff, you're screwed up. Sure.
So we kind of had a relationship when we were younger. Yeah, I was a bit older.
When I was about 6, well, it was more 6 to 7 is when he started the more aggressive.
She started this shit. She done this to me.
Coming in.
Okay, I'm going to ask the chat, and then I'm going to ask Mere Aunt Sherry. Does anyone here think that Don was victimized by his little sisters when he was 12, all the way to the age of 19?
Absolutely not.
Yeah. Do you think he was victimized when he stole that lady's panties, those red panties?
No, but he always likes to make himself the victim.
No.
He
No.
turns it around and he's the victim.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't admit any wrongdoing. I mean, some people would say, yeah, I lied or whatever, but he can't admit his wrongs at all. If you've noticed throughout this whole time, he cannot admit he's wrong about anything.
No. I say hail, storm, no. Just like in this situation right now with Nana and the flyers, that she has been putting flyers up for over 4.5 years. Now he's the victim. That something has, here's a popular word, triggered him, and he feels victimized by seeing Summer's flyers. Can't make it up. Mm-mm, mm-mm. Even in Hollywood, they couldn't write this.
Into my room.
And he's
Somebody
13.
did it to him. Somebody did it to
Yeah.
him. As I said before, it's a familial pattern on down the line. It's a generational thing, I guess is the best way to describe it.
I
So
wouldn't doubt.
somebody molested him.
I
Was
wouldn't
it
doubt that at all.
was it his father? Remember we heard that one time?
Well, his father is the one that got all of this squashed and said, I never want to hear it again. Never. This is not going to the police. No one's doing anything. No one's doing anything. And actually, the only person on the YouTube app that is happy that Roy Utah didn't prosecute Don is Lisa K. Ruitz. I will never understand why she takes up for people that do horrible things to children. I just don't get it. It's a very strange behavior.
13, 14
Well,
by
I
then.
think she
And
did
don't
something.
think I didn't ever wake up in my bed trying to get down my pants before. Don't think that hasn't ever happened.
Anyway, just it was every night practically.
How old were you? I don't know. Maybe 15. I don't know. And how old was she? I don't know. She was a lot younger than me. And how long did that go on? I don't know.
for a little while or whatever. I know I've done wrong. Yeah, I did wrong. Yes, I admit that.
It continued till the age Jeannie was 8 and Dawn was 15. Sometime between the age of 12 and 15, somebody at school or somewhere must have mentioned that when you force yourself onto someone in any way, shape, or form, it's wrong.
Right. But there was times where Jeannie played along too. I tried to apologize to her, but she's not accepting an apology.
I'm very sorry. I mean, by this is your apology?
No, there's not no apology. I'm telling you, I'm the victim. I'm sorry that I did not know any better.
Why would I didn't think it was right.
When I was about 10 or 11,
Okay.
he went
At
to
15,
prison
you
for
didn't. At
close
15,
to
you
2
didn't know it
years.
was wrong.
I woke up.
He didn't know it was wrong at 12, 13, 14, 15. When he got
They called it playing house.
playing house. Okay.
Yes.
When he got out of jail at 19, he still didn't know it was wrong. And this is after coming out of a correctional facility. So when did he learn it was wrong?
Never.
Mm-hmm. Because, I mean, that story about what happened to Mary, that about gave me a damn nightmare.
That's lifelong trauma.
Mm-hmm.
To him doing stuff to me, and I wasn't going to have it anymore. I'd had these 2 years of freedom from him. So I went right into my parents' room, flipped on their light, and I just said it right out. And my mom was really mad, and he wanted to press charges. And my dad he really downplayed it. He didn't think it was a big deal. And so my dad told her, if you press charges, then we're getting a divorce.
Okay, so we have double victimization for Jeannie. I'm just going to use Jeannie because she's the one talking. Dawn's dad said, if you press charges, if you bring this up to the police, I will divorce you. Okay? And that's on top of what Dawn had been doing to Jeannie for a long time. And that in itself is just disgusting. Why did Dawn's dad? I understand when you don't want your kids in trouble with the police, but we know that this was never rectified. We know it wasn't, because Dawn got in other trouble. Dawn went to jail, and when he got out at 19, he continued his abuse. Holly said, Jenna, you mean Candace's friend? The one that Candace shit all over and told her all those secrets about her and Hunter? She said Jenna went through hell because of Dawn's perversion. Did Dawn do something to Jenna? Whoa. Because the text messages alone that were sent to Candace, from Candace to Jenna, that would have been enough to lock Candace up.
Mayor Brooks, I need to ask you a question. Is there a statute of limitations? If there is, I think that we should change that law, that there should never be a statute of limitations against child SA. I don't know. Is that why he can't be charged?
It's state by state. It's state by state. I don't know how it works in Utah. It's probably a statute thing. To be quite honest. She meant Jeannie. Yeah, Jeannie's has gone through hell over the years for what happened to her. It is absolutely traumatic and disgusting. Talking about wearing jeans over her pajamas so it would be harder for him to get to her. I mean, she was very detailed about what went on. And some people, like Lisa K. Ruitz, said she was lying, that she made all this up. How can she be lying when Don is corroborating it, saying he didn't know no better? How can she be lying when Dawn is saying we were just playing house? These are very sweet women, and you know what? They could be very bitter. They have made something of themselves.
Yes.
And shame on anyone that says, oh, I mean, would sit there and say, oh, they're lying. Oh, they're lying. Oh, they're lying. Who the hell would want to go talk to Chris McDonough and Josh and tell them about something horrible that happened to you when you were 5? Why would you even want to do that? No. That's a horrible, horrible thing people did to her.
Oh, poor Mary.
It's just like what happened with him and me and his 2 friends.
You know, that me and my buddies was chasing her around. We was all playing, and she fell down. I helped pick her up, and I accidentally ripped her shirt a little bit when I was helping to pick her up. You know, trying to help her get off the floor because she fell down.
Okay, so he's explaining this horrible scene. Mary explains it differently. So for YouTube, I got to talk like I'm on Sesame Street. You see, I have fallen down before, but my clothes didn't fall off. So you all do the math. They were chasing her around because I guess Mary was in the mood to play tag with her abusive brother that just got out of jail. So him and a friend are chasing her around. She falls down and just ripped her shirt a little bit. No. That's not.
I've fallen many times, but nobody's ripped my shirt helping me up.
No, nobody's going to pick you up by your shirt. It's going to be like
that's a fib.
It's going to be like, give me your hand, give me your shoulder, something like that, help you up that way. Yeah, nobody grabs you by the shirt and pulls you up. That is stupid. And hey, so I'm going to tell you something right now. Dawn and Candace have a gift because there are many people on this app that believed the shit out of them to the point where everybody in their past is lying, but not Dawn and Candace. No, but that's okay. You can be wrong one day and then see the light and go, shit, now I see.
Now, I don't.
What's it, Sherry?
I don't think he's lost his taste for doing this. This could still possibly be going on with younger girls. The story he made up with the child walking down the street, he took her home. That's just an odd story too. That way he made himself the hero. See?
Oh yeah, he's a real hero. Real tough guy. You're a real tough guy, Dawn. You're a real hero. Sure. You know how many children I pay attention to? None, because they have parents. So when I'm driving, let's say I have to get out early in the morning and the kids are outside and their parents are with them and they're waiting on the bus. Do you think I stop and say, is there something I can do for you? Shall I call 911? No, he's a liar.
As far as it went, you know. And I told them guys, hey, man, enough. She's down on the floor. She's thinking we're serious, trying to do something to her when we wasn't, you know.
Yeah, they meant to probably rape you or something.
Well,
but I saved your ass. But
scared for my
you
life,
go ahead and tell them. Yeah, I was there. I remember.
Mary is screaming at Dawn saying, what are you talking about? I was scared for my life. And Dawn goes, yeah, I think those other guys were there to rape her. And she's just, well, then why didn't you protect your sister, Dawn? Why did you not protect your sister? Sorry, I've got to correct that for YouTube. He says, yeah, those other guys were there to grape her. And she's sitting there telling him she was scared for her life. I guarantee this really, I'm going to say, entertained him.
Remember, so you're going to turn it into a bad thing because I saved you. I thought it was kind of like a game or whatever. And they ripped her shirt.
He thought it was a game. He thought it was a game. You and a couple of buddies.
Did you get stretched out?
Taking clothing off of your sister. And as he had said before, Mary had real big knockers, and he was afraid a black guy was going to get to her first. I don't even know where that came from. I mean, obviously, you can see when a woman has bigger breasts. He should never have commented on it. And
thank you, Angel.
Look at that, Angel P.
She made it rain. She made it rain.
She made it rain. Thank you so much. Let's see who got him. Let's see. This is exciting. Let's see. Mal said, welcome, new members. Check out the new badges, too. Gina, Deb Vlogs, Old Man Suds, Happy in Montana. Ooh, Stazzy Nose, Kelly Holcomb, and M. Welcome, my friends. Welcome. Get your umbrellas. Okay, so again, he thought graping was a game, just like he didn't know any better at 12, 13, 14, 15, because Jeannie just always wanted to, like he said, touch him. Again, Donna's always the victim. And as like what we saw over the weekend that I posted on YouTube, he is now claiming to be a victim again because Nana for Life puts up missing persons flyers for summer.
A little bit when I was helping to pick her up.
I think my dad always felt like maybe an obligation to him. I don't know. Donnie has a way of making people feel sorry for him.
I'm the victim to my stepsister. I'm the victim.
Right, I'm sure.
Yeah. At least I admitted to my...
He's saying right there, he's the victim.
Yeah.
He is the victim of his stepsisters. Nana, right in the chat, everybody. Nana, I've got the link posted. I would love to have you come up. You got a lot of love in here. Everybody, please give a round of applause to Nana for Life. She has been going through hell. She's been hell with the wells.
We love you, Nana. This is a wonderful trip to come into. They're so sweet and so kind. You will not be bothered on this trip, my friend.
My goodness. Thank you guys for giving her all those accolades because she deserves them. I felt very bad for her at the Christmas tree dedication. Yes. And when I saw that post over the weekend, not going to lie, I felt like my eyes were on fire. I was so mad.
How dare he?
Yeah. At least I admitted to my part.
Good job.
But
Congratulations.
they don't want to admit to their part. I was a little kid and so were they.
My dad was very upset that I went in and pressed charges against him for doing that to me. And then made my mom take me back to the police station 2 days later and drop everything.
No, there is no victim statement from her. I have a victim statement from Mary, and I have a victim statement from Jeannie. No others. There were two. You don't know.
I do, though. And I know that there's a third victim
There
statement.
are no other victims. You're lying.
No, you're lying, Don. You are.
What about the third one? Put that in context.
The third one
Nana,
really didn't say nothing.
you're wonderful.
Well, she said something because they talked to you about
That's
her.
why I don't want to mention her name.
Let's talk about Rhonda.
I don't know no Rhonda. Where the you get a name like that?
Well, she's on your victim list.
Where'd she get a name like that? What is he assuming she's one of his sisters? I don't know no Rhonda. So did you forget that you abuse people that are not within your family, Don? Where'd she get a name like that? Rhonda is a common name and a very pretty name. Who would say something so stupid except for Don? Nana for Life said, I sat there squalling my face off.
Yes.
It's gotta be scary.
He was kindly led to the exit doors. And so, I mean, Jubilee led him to the exit doors because he made some remarks to Nana or about Nana within her earshot,
Which was
and they were not nice comments. So the guys just immediately took over and walked him to the door. I mean, Jubilee did, and then Ryan finds the truth. He came a little bit later, but he was not allowed to go back into the Christmas tree area.
Well, nobody needs him around a Christmas tree. It reminds me of that scene from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Where are you putting that tree? Bend over and I'll show you. If not, get the hell out of my face. Doobie, girl, I've been wondering where you been. I miss you, girlfriend. Are you okay?
Welcome back.
No, she's not.
You want to bet?
There is no Rhonda in my victims list. That's a lie.
I did hear the chat the other day from Don, and I just wanted to let him know I'm alive and well, and I am number 3 that did sign the complaint. I am the one that sent in the papers, and him saying he doesn't remember is extremely hurtful. That something that he did is that unimportant. It's that unimportant to him that he can't even remember it.
That was it. There was 3 statements. The police called me when I was in jail from Utah. I laughed at them. Then I started yelling at them. After they read me all 3 statements.
I had two signed statements against me. That was it. There weren't 7, there weren't 10, there weren't whatever.
Was there 3?
There was 2.
All 3 of them.
Yes, sir.
Only his birthday is a month from mine, Rhonda. His birthday is 11/14 of 64. So yeah, you guys are 7 years apart, 6.5, 7 years apart, something like that.
So he was over the age of 18 then.
Yeah, he was 19. Yep.
And you guys were 12.
Yes, Jeannie and I were 12 at the time.
And there was a third one that didn't really say anything.
What was the third?
I'm not going to miss it.
And you were spending the night over there.
I did. Jeannie and I are cousins, and I spent the night over there, and that's when Donnie came in.
And he victimized you as well as probably others that we just don't know about.
Oh, the way it was such not a big deal to him. I'm sure it was anybody that he could get his hands on.
He talks about his short victim list like it's a badge of honor. What in the world? In his mind, it makes sense. No, there's only 2 complaints. Well, yeah, there's 3, but it's not 7. It's not 10. Well, how many is too many, Dawn? I would say 1. I would say 1 victim is too many. But what do I know? I don't live in the realm of the Wells world. I mean, we go back to Candace, okay? She tells Jinkies, oh yeah, kids are signed over, done, over. shut the door on that part of my life. And I was really afraid I was going to get an SA charge. Well, I tell you what, I'd have passed out if I'd heard that. I would have passed out.
The child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
I always knew that something was going to happen to somebody. We had such a great love for each other. I think she knew something too.
Not cooperating.
I have 7 alibis.
Finder and
Candace ain't got none. She's going down.
What about this other person you mentioned, Tish? What's her name?
Her daughter's name was Trish, and the last time I seen her, she was just a little girl.
Oh yeah, he always was making me sit on his lap all the time. And my grandpa, he would get out of prison, and my grandpa would make me hug him. And at some point, I finally, I guess, was old enough to have my own voice, and I started saying no. And you know, I don't think that it went any further than him just touching me over the clothes or anything, because thankfully my mom was always there.
This is an incident that happened July 20th, 2006. You see it. He got arrested for burglary. On July 20th, 2006, at 12:39 a.m., we were checking 2 juveniles in the area on Trail Dustin Broyles. They drew our attention to a suspicious male in the driveway. I then observed a white male, later identified as Donald Wells. When Wells observed us pointing to his location, he walked to the front of the van, which was facing the garage, and crouched down behind it out of sight. Due to Wells's demeanor and the fact that he kept sticking his hands into his pockets, Officer Lindaberry obtained consent to search Wells's pockets. During the consent search, Lindaberry located a pair of red panties in Wells' right front pants pocket. Wells initially advised that the panties were from his wife, who resides at the West End.
You have about a half a thing of the green grape.
So that they were his girlfriend.
What is that, strawberry?
During the interviews, Wells admitted.
But it's not low sugar, it's just regular.
Okay, this woman is in no way, shape, or form his girlfriend. No way, shape, or form. He broke into this woman's house. I muted Sherry because they're talking private medical info.
That he had entered the garage and took the panties from the laundry room. He said he was going to use the panties to, and there is the word, people. I'm not even going to say that word.
We know what he was using the panties for. We know what he was using it for. He was pleasuring himself. Okay, now mind you, he's 41 at this time. Are we led to believe at 41 he didn't know no better, like he always says?
That's pretty brazen, going into somebody's house or garage or wherever and taking somebody's underwear. I mean, really.
And how long did he have this woman targeted? He must have had some sort of
Was he not arrested for theft?
No, he got into some trouble for this. But, you know, when all this is going down, I mean, it said, you know, during the investigation, and he took the panties and all that stuff, and then he took them to go pleasure himself at a later time.
He was going to use the panties at a later time. And he also advised that she had a ride home the night before and found Wells prowling around her residence. Wells prowling around the residence. Beatty said that she told Wells that she wanted him to leave her property and did not come back. Beatty said that she did not know he was outside and that he did not have permission to be on the property.
He was always, cruel to animals and stuff when we were growing up. He used to take firecrackers and tie them to our little poodle's tail and light them.
These dogs don't mean shit. They're stupid as fuck. They're lucky I don't. Never mind.
Isn't that part of someone being psychotic? Isn't that, I know they have a thing that if somebody abuses animals, they go into an FBI database because they know that serial killers and, well, other people, they start with animals. And she's like talking about the poodle he's tying firecrackers to.
And then also, there was one time that I caught him in the bedroom with her, which was not a good situation.
Man, these dogs are so stupid.
How did the dog survive that? I mean, I've been seeing more and more of this bestiality thing, and I cannot even figure it out. We heard about it down in Chakota, Oklahoma with the Ryan Davis case. We heard about it in the Jesse McFadden case with his brother. There's something I posted in the Facebook group about a woman that had something going on with a puppy dog. And that these animals have to get medically treated, okay? It is psychotic. It is, I don't even know the word for it.
They don't know when to bark, and they don't know, and they sure as hell ain't gonna fight off nobody. They're gonna run like little bitch ass dogs, like they are.
How these dogs like up there? Like what were they doing? Well, I do know that they must have kicked one and the butt fell out or something. The butt fell out, something like that. But I think they kicked him and threw him over some embankment.
You have to understand, they're stupid as fuck.
They also had a cat, and they wanted to cut the leg off of a cat that got chewed up by one of the dogs, the one that got killed.
They're lucky I don't. Never mind.
Whoa.
I confided in I think I was about 7 or 8. Was 3 years older than me, I believe. But I did talk to her about what was going on with him.
I think he got with Candace because she was so childlike. I think that's why he got with Candace, because she's so childlike in her thinking.
Well, and she's a pervert too.
Yeah, but
Nana was backstage, and I missed putting her on the stage.
Oh,
Nana,
come on.
Nana, can you grab the link again? Please, I'm begging you. Nana, good morning. Oh, it's buffering a little bit. Is that on my end?
Mirror Nana, come on.
Hello, lady.
Hey, Nana, sweetheart.
Hey, guys. Oh, you have the sweetest voice. I knew you would. I'm so sorry this has happened to you. She'll grab it again. They've had very bad weather out there, and there might be a connection problem.
Yes.
That he did the same thing to her, and that he couldn't help it. I said, well, let's go tell. I want to tell. And I, because I had somebody there that was going through it. And she said, no. She said, if we tell, Kelly will beat the crap out of him.
Which was his stepdad.
And, you know, I was so excited, but then so let down at the same time. And I asked her, I said, well, why does he do it? And she said, well, he can't help it. It's not his fault. He can't help it.
And here we are.
Well, then move to one of those pervo states that say it's a mental illness and should be treated as such. Okay? I'm so sick of hearing this. Can't help it. They can't help it. It's an urge they have. It's an urge. It's an urge. Shut up. The law is the law. And the law says if you do something like that, you hurt another person, you do the crime, you do the time. And the reason I can confidently say that Candace is a perv too is because she heard every bit of this. She knows everything his sister said. She knows about Rhonda. She knows she knows what happened with the neighbor, I'll just say down the road, what happened between the two of them. She knows all of it. It doesn't faze her. Ernie confronted her about the showers. And she was like, somebody gonna have to get me some fucking bail money. If that's true, I'll flip the fuck out. She didn't care. She didn't care. She didn't care. She didn't care.
Today, now, with a case file put together, and there were a total of 7 women that came forward from the initial Jeannie and Mary. So 5 more women. And there are more, right, Mary? I mean, we're not talking about, just,
Yeah,
we know there are more.
Yeah, there's others within our family that I have personally talked to, and they won't come forward. I don't know if they're scared or they just don't want any of the, anything to do with that. But there's like 3 other family members that I've talked to personally that they will not come forward. But they told me personally that they were accused by Donnie.
Brooks, do you know what? I have a very, very harsh way to deal with essayers. Very castration. Castration. Then they won't have the desire. They might have it mentally, but they won't be able to do anything about it.
Well,
I know that's tough, and I know that's that's how I feel. That would take care of the problem, one by one.
They have tried that in several states, and it doesn't take care of the urge they supposedly have. They find other ways to get their jollies. Okay, now what really cures it? Florida, Alabama, Texas, Oklahoma. There could be others. They say Tennessee is another one that they're just going to put you to death. I think it's being discussed in Utah right now because they're a death penalty state. If you do something like this, you get the needle or you get the firing squad, And I say, quit putting so much into it. Get creative. Hey, whatever's laying around, come on. But that pesky Constitution gets in the way of everything, telling you. One thing after another. You know what I mean, Sherry? And I mean, there's an argument about mental illness. Well, I don't think that there's anybody in jail with a sound mind. I don't.
Criminals are actually dumb, or they're actually dumb, or they wouldn't be criminals.
But they educate themselves. They start out small and they learn the ropes. They learn the system. They learn it. They really do. I've always said if they put that type of effort into actual work and inventiveness, they'd have a much different life.
child's parents, Don Wells and Candace Bly, are not cooperating.
I always knew that something was going to happen to something.
We had such a great love for each other.
I think she knew something too.
Not cooperating.
Two Boston moms says Florida is actually a state that tries to rehabilitate sexual offenders. They're one of the 20 states along with California. You might want to look that up. The only reason is because, I believe everything I read on the internet. And there was a clip of Ron DeSantis, talking about how in Florida that there's absolutely no way to rehabilitate these people. There's no cure for their sickness, and that they're going to be in line to get killed. What they do need to do is change the statute of limitations. They need to change that. I know in Tennessee that once you turn 18, let's just say, and I hate to say it, that your parents would not report the crime. Your parents would not take you to the doctor. All right, you turn 18. You have 8 years from the time you turn 18. But we've had other cases like Jared from Adventures with Purpose. Now, I don't know what's going on there because Jared's back out and about with Adventures with Purpose. So maybe somebody that lives in Utah can look it up for me. I'm wondering if the case settled, if somebody dropped the charges. I don't know, because he's got a whole new crew on Adventures with Purpose. And boy, I almost needed a tire jack to get my jaw off the floor when that popped up on my feed. I couldn't hit remove fast enough. Disgusting.
I have 7 alibis.
Find her and
Candace ain't got none. She's going down.
And the reason that I wanted to do this interview, and initially me coming forward, was just in hope, that to find Summer. It just, when I found out she was missing, I got to tell you, I just started crying. And I just felt like they needed to know, and obviously I did. I called TBI.
I was on a road trip quite a ways from home, and I heard it on the radio.
Okay, so this is what got a lot of people going back in the day. I will say, back in the day, when they heard about Summer being missing, and so they thought, okay, I'm going to call TBI, 800 TBI find, and tell them what happened to us when we were children. So that ignited a spark with, I'll say, the Daisies of the world, the LKRs of the world, that said, what do you mean they didn't know that they had a daughter? If they didn't know that they had a daughter, then why are they getting involved? That is so beside the point.
Well, see, 5 must be the number that he likes, or whatever. I don't know. I feel sorry for Summer and what she had to go through. In my opinion, only. I'm not accusing anyone. I'm just saying, if she went through all of that, can you imagine how painful? Can you imagine how horrible that would be?
Mm-hmm.
Every single day. Summer Wells.
Exactly. Thank you for the super sticker, Cat. Thank you. You have no idea what that means to me. Say her name, because her parents won't. Her parents not only don't say her name, but they're taking down her flyers, and they're very mean to Nana for Life. Nana for Life hasn't asked anybody for anything to do all this stuff. Nothing.
No, she does this out of the kindness of her heart. She has been for Summer all along, and people think that I've cozied up to the Wells, and that is not true. I've never seen Candace. I've never seen Don. I've never supported them. I've never sent a penny. I never bought them anything. I never did anything.
Mhm.
And I held back on all of this stuff because in my mind, I kept seeing so many things that that made them guilty to me. Even if it was an accident, it should have been reported.
Yeah, but I mean, you've done your due diligence. You've turned over what you know, and that's it. And when you're on a panel with someone, it's really not the time to play judge and jury because you're not going to get anything.
I don't want to be. I don't want to be judge or jury.
Mandy, thank you so much for the super sticker. Boy, Brooks needed that. Two Boston moms said Arizona, California, Florida, Illinois, Iowa, Kansas, Massachusetts, Minnesota, Missouri, North Dakota, Ohio, New Jersey, South Carolina, Texas, Washington, and Wisconsin. Now, you're telling me that all these people will rehabilitate these people and they'll put them back out on the streets? Wisconsin, I know, because Warren Hare was released after horrible things. Texas surprises the shit out of me, though. That surprises me that they would even think to release one of them.
I wish Dodd would meet Grady Judd.
Oh, Grady Judd wouldn't mess with him. Grady mess with.
You know who he is in Florida.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. He would mess. He would. He wouldn't play around.
Well,
I don't know why Tennessee plays around like it does.
Well, they don't anymore because, like they said, there's Governor Bill Lee said that there will be death penalty for when someone that does, I'll just say, the unthinkable to a child other than murder. And like Nana has always said, she's always kept her class. She's never slung mud. She said, I'm not here to prove anyone's guilt or innocence. Nothing like that. She said, I'm here for Summer, period.
Thank you, Nana. I wish I could give you a big hug.
Well, she needs one because, I mean, you know how alienating that would feel to know that you're doing the right thing. And next thing you know, the father of the missing child is being a total butt lick to you at the Christmas tree dedication. And he's taking down the flyers when we know Detective Pruitt said they have no reason to believe that she's been trafficked outside of that area. Getting technical about it all you want. We know that the minute she was taken off the property, that could be considered trafficking. They're not going to charge anybody with human trafficking if she's right around there. However, they don't have any reason to believe she's not outside that area. They know more than us. Angie Baby, thank you so much for the super sticker. Whew! Did you all fall on the super sticker button today? What am I going to do with these girls today, Aunt Sherry?
I appreciate them and love them.
Absolutely.
I heard it on the radio, and it was like I had to pull over and stop, and it just brought back every single memory. And it's amazing that I had put that so far behind me, and then just hearing that on the radio, the fear, just what did he do to her? he did that knowing he very well could get caught because there were so many people in the house. And I'm sure he knew my dad very well and knew that wouldn't have been tolerated.
Mhm.
Imagine what he did to his own kids when there was nobody else in the house watching him, when he had no fear of getting caught. The way he thinks it's no big deal, and he was just I don't know what happened with Summer, but he has something to do with it. I'm 100% positive.
And Summer, she had this long dress on, and she was doing flips in it.
Okay, I have to give a warning here because, again, I mean, this is somebody that I witnessed something horrible, unfathomable, and was called a liar. You see, some of these people live in the world of everyone is lying that don't even know each other. Like they don't even know each other. They don't know each other. But they all have stories, and some of the stories, the horrible stories, Dawn corroborates. But they will say that all these people are lying. I've heard Daisy flat out call these people liars. And I was like, that's enough internet for me today. Because there has been a reign of terror on many people due to Dawn and Candace. Chocolate covered pickle, you're speaking my language. She said, I wouldn't be surprised if Candace's father could be her uncle. I've done a few shows about that, my friend. Oh, yes, I have. Because Daddy Uncle Warren looks exactly like Candace. Now, in families, we pick up different traits, but no one's going to look just like their aunt. Okay? I mean, carbon freaking copy. Carbon copy. And who is the one that was so happy that he got out of jail? Grandis. She was so happy. She was elated.
She took off fast, too.
She took off fast. She had to get up to Wisconsin to make sure Bubby was A-okay. But that could just be another lie that doesn't fit a narrative. You know how narratives go. And perception versus reality. You know, black and white versus, that's not what I think. That's what people do with this case. You hear some of the ugliest stuff, and I get it. It's hard to wrap your mind around. But after you've heard it and you've heard it and you've heard it, you're just like, and in the midst of this, there is a little girl that's missing. And there is also her aunt that is missing. But everyone's lying except for Dawn, Candace, and Grandis. Everyone. Jeannie, Mary, Jenna, Rhonda, True, Allie lied, Hunter lied, Leslie lied, Marlena lied. Fred, I think Fred did lie about some things, but we do know that Candace was at his house that day.
Now, this is Allison's daughter, T.
Mhm.
And she told the story of when baby Summer had gotten into some sort of medication or rugs or
Mhm.
something. And instead of calling the ambulance or taking her to the emergency room, they take her over to Allison's house. Now, what's Allison supposed to do about that? And why wouldn't they take her to a doctor ever? Because they did not want to see the damage, anybody to see the damage that was done with this essay repeatedly. It will definitely leave scarring. It will definitely leave, you know. Anyway, I don't know.
Well, and the
It just
pinnacle.
blows. It just blows my mind. It blows my mind that they would take that baby to the hospital.
And, to be quite honest, I don't know the statute of limitations, but if Candace was my friend and came over with a baby because she was 3 at the time, that got into one of Dawn's pills, I wouldn't just give her a bunch of stuff to make her throw up. I would be like, hold on, let me go get it. I would grab my phone and I'd call 911 and I would wait for the ambulance to get there. Now, I know you can't talk bad about the dead because they're not here to defend themselves, but I will say this. Allie did not leave this planet with a clean conscience. I'm sorry to say that.
She knew too much. She knew too much.
She knew too much, and with that knowledge, there was a lot of things she didn't do to help these kids. Because I mean, she had the victim right in her house, and and didn't call 911. I would have called 911 immediately. I mean, I would have whispered.
Of course, we would do that.
I would have even.
They didn't do that.
I would have even acted like I was ordering a pizza just in case Candace was listening in.
Yeah, but you know what? They didn't want to do that because that someone would discover what has been going on probably since Summer was just a baby. Can you imagine? Can
Well,
you imagine?
I mean, it would be. And the thing is, I mean, Allie would be what you would call someone who's sympathetic to child abuse as well. Because let's face it, she was in trouble with CPS. Her mom, Sherry, had child neglect or child abuse or child endangerment charges. Can't remember off the top of my head. We know True has been in trouble for child neglect. So to
and running away.
Yeah. And you know, it's just a willy-nilly system they have with raising the children. And so they stick up for each other like, we're not going to let CPS get our babies. Well, I'm not letting anyone get Stacy, my baby, because she just gifted 5 Crime Lines and Lies memberships.
Let it rain.
Damn, makes me sick. Because every bit of this was preventable. Every bit of it. If somebody just would have had a stroke of morality and made a phone call. And the best time to do it is when the heat's on. Now, I'm not going to say too much about True when she was a young girl and had no signal up on the hill with what she saw. Can't really, you know, I would get in big trouble on YouTube if I sat there and sort of bashing a minor, to be quite honest. I know she's older now. And I also,
that's what I didn't say her name. I said T.
Mm-hmm.
I know what to do and what not to do.
Well, she's an adult now.
What to say and what not to say.
Well, she's an adult now. She's an adult now. So, I mean, you can just use her name. It's fine. You know, I never had any issue using Hunter's name because, I mean, his name was used a lot.
Well, his mother, you know, said it was okay to use his name.
Mm-hmm.
If you remember with the Chris McDonough interview.
Yeah, she just didn't, but I mean, she didn't even care if he was on camera. It was Chris and his wife, Karen, that said, well, we're not going to put him on camera. No. So instead, we got the lovely shot of Allie's gut and the Mountain Dew and coffee cups the whole time.
And you could see she had like this crusty on her.
But just the fact of his hand and his position of where he has it on her body, it would throw you off. Like you would look.
I have a lot to say about this. I have a lot to say about this.
What? Go ahead.
Seriously, I remember Jose being interviewed by Justin, and one of the things that he said, he wrote in the back of he called it a U-Haul, whether it's Penske, U-Haul, whatever, it's a moving van. But anyway, he talked about sitting on that couch, that blue couch, with Hunter and Summer coming from New York. Now, how did Summer get to New York, I wonder? And also, why did he say we just got her back? That will not, it's burned in my memory forever. We just got her back. And I don't think Jose had any reason to lie. I mean, why would he?
Well, no, but he was called a liar too. And yeah, I mean, I'm going to go ahead and say he's someone else that should have gotten help for what was going on.
I need
Okay.
to. I'd like to go over that again when Jose is talking about that because to me that's critical. If she was up there, she was being whatever. She was being moved from place to place to do a dirty deed. And I, when he said sitting on the couch with Summer and Hunter, can you imagine sitting in the back of the Penske and it's dark
No, I thought he was
and
talking about.
you have to ride
Hold
for
on, hold up, before we confuse everybody. He No, Summer wasn't with them on the way from New York down to Tennessee. There's no way she could be with them. The blue couch was already in front of the door. He was talking about when he was living with them, and he said he was sitting on the couch with Summer and Wyatt because Wyatt was playing video games on the TV downstairs, the Girls Gone Wild TV,
yes.
and they would sit on that couch. That's why there was questions after Summer went missing. Where did the couch go? And remember, this was in September, October of 2020. Okay, and the couch was seen in the meantime. Summer's never been to New York, and I know that's a huge theory. It's a huge theory for people. It really is.
Well,
And
I thought he.
but
I'm
too
sorry.
many
I'm
people in Tennessee saw her in the fall and Christmas time. I mean, hell, she had lunch at Chili's in Kingsport with Sherry. And that was in March of 2021. No, I mean, I would have run with that theory had I not saw all the pictures and stuff.
I'm gonna go back and watch Justin's interview with him if it's still up because I can't hear very well, but I really observe it. And I was reading about, I have closed captions on if people will let me. And he was at the back of that Penske or U-Haul. He specifically said it.
Yeah, but not with Summer. You would have to go back and watch it and turn on the closed captions because when he did say he was sitting with Summer, that's when they were at the Dollar General, I believe. ICU would have to correct me. Okay, two Boston moms said, I hope Summer gets justice. Me too, girlfriend. This has gone on way too long. She wants to know if Nana has heard anything about the Van Hill search. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. Something I was talking to someone this morning who has been, and this is her story to tell, so it doesn't really matter who it is, that this person who has been talking to Candace quite a bit. When the Van Hill Road search was asked about, this person totally was ghosted. Candace totally cut off communication. Nothing to see here, nothing to say here, and will not talk again. Something about bringing that up really set old Can off. Okay?
Yeah.
Really set her off. Now remember, Dawn and Candace had old Tim put on Find Summer Wells, the Facebook page, which does everything but try to find Summer Wells, that, oh my God, they're so busy. They just don't have time to get behind the podium and address this new investigation to find their daughter. They're just way too busy. They got way too much R&R and drywall going on, and they're just not going to get hurt anymore. The statement would have been easy, and I mean easy.
Well, tell me why they had that weird bar set up, like there was not even a downstairs. I mean, to the average person, they wouldn't know there was a downstairs. Just looking at the bar in the living room, of course, it was really cluttered. But climbing into that thing and you climb in backwards. So you're standing on a step and you've got to turn around and walk down the steps. I mean, that is just freaking weird to me.
That'd be like me having a bedroom up in the attic. It's a basement.
Yeah. Or me having a trap door in my bedroom going to my basement.
Mhm.
It was hidden. Everything has to be hidden with this case. Everything has to be hidden.
Aggie,
When I saw that, I thought that was the strangest thing I've ever seen. I said, "Uh-oh, there's something's going on with this."
that freaked me out, and I was very worried for Chris McDonough because I thought,
I
who do
was
we?
too. I was afraid he'd fall down the stairs.
I wasn't worried about that. That'd been the easiest thing that could have happened to him. I was afraid somebody be down there to do something to him.
Oh, I didn't think that far.
Aggie said, "Did her friend Kathy ever come back?" Kathy is never coming back. Never, ever, ever coming back. She got caught in some mistruths. Let me put
She
it
was
that way.
used. She was used.
Well, she could have just been like, look, I was used. The friendship is over. Or say nothing. I mean, sometimes saying nothing works a lot better, just
Yeah.
not saying a word. However, a lot of people, and we know how people on the internet do, they, once they found out her name, they decided to go ahead and call Child Protective Services and let them know that Candace Wells had been living with her and that Kathy admitted on her show that she saw something very disturbing going on between her granddaughter and Candace.
Uh-huh.
In the channel, she took down everything. She took down everything. And she'll never come back. Nobody wants to.
Oh no, she doesn't want to be. It doesn't want to have anything to do with this case. Not after what supposedly happened with the not be. Let's just say not being a good role model in front of her daughter.
Granddaughter. No way is that girl her daughter. No. No. What is she, 11 at the time Kathy was doing those things? It's got to be a granddaughter or a niece or something like that. But hey, stranger things have happened.
And be like, but wait a minute, I don't hold my child like that. Why is he doing it? So it was something off about that.
And I would ask him, I was like, did Daddy hurt? She's like, she would just like make a pouty face and shit. She wouldn't say nothing.
I could say just one harsh word to her and she would break down. I'd have to apologize for it to her 10 times over. All I remember is when I woke up is her feet and her foot being under me, kind of,
Did she wake up?
I was kind of laying on her foot a little bit and stuff, and I was like, my back,
I remember her being there and I covered her up a little bit or whatever and left. And she sleeps just right between me and Mom every night,
And we were out there one time and they were drinking and crap, and he took all her clothes off, and he had boxers on, and he was just holding her naked. And then they went downstairs.
Okay, so it's something I don't want to picture. For one, Dawn's sitting outside in front of everybody, a young girl, everybody in his boxer shorts. He takes off Summer's clothes. He picks her up and he takes her downstairs.
Well, that means he had to crawl through that hole with her.
Well, I'm sure she can get down herself. What was she, 4 at the time? And then he would go down.
Yeah, 4. And sleeping with them every night, Brooks, that's odd too, in a way. I mean, I've known kids that have slept with their parents till the age of 10, but it's usually due to a phobia or something, But I think sometimes Candace probably just got drunker than hell, and just went to sleep. So she didn't know what Dawn did with Summer because she was asleep, knocked out, zonked.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? Of course it does.
Well, I mean, to some people it would make sense. Like, you just get so drunk you don't know that your child's being abused. But to some people, they're like, no, you got to sober up sometime. And we also know allegations against Candace. We know what she said to Jinkies, that she was afraid she was going to get an essay charge.
Yeah, both of them.
Mm-hmm. About her and Donnie. Nana for Life said, I know Miss Kathy. She's a sweetheart like myself. She was here for Summer. Oh, I don't doubt that she has a good heart. And that in her mind, she believed
She thought that she could help Candace.
she did. But sometimes when you help Candace, you're not helping Summer. And that doesn't mean that anyone's.
That is a good phrase. Repeat that, Brooks. That was a good phrase. Say that
Well,
again.
sometimes, well, I'm just going to say all the time, when you help Candace, you're not helping Summer because Summer didn't need her phone paid for.
Thank you for repeating that. That's great.
Summer didn't have child support owed to the state of Tennessee. Summer didn't need to go to a rehab for 11 hours. Summer didn't need the electric bill paid. Summer's not here. And so that's helping Candace. And I feel like Kathy got mixed up into something that she regrets.
She wished she hadn't seen it.
She knows she was taken advantage of. When she talked about her granddaughter and something happened, she said. Something happened between Candace and her granddaughter that made her really upset, and I'll just say upset. So right there, that's when the friendship would be over for me.
I'm sorry, just me. Is it a trigger for you?
No, everybody has different opinions. People are going to be like, nah,
yeah, I understand, but if someone is triggered by something.
No, she's not a triggered type person. No. Susan? Okay. Oh, hell no. Oh, no, she's not like that. No.
Sounds like Sherry. She's not easily triggered by anything either. I've seen and heard everything you can't even believe.
Mm-hmm.
Even the gerbil story, and I won't go into that. That's not what we're talking about. But I knew about that back in the 80s. That's nothing new. But hamsters, that's a different story. They're a lot bigger. Okay, I'm sorry to laugh. But Jose, I believe, really, really cared about Summer. He really did. I mean, he was the one that was protecting her, getting out of the shower. He was the one in there cooking the food. He told you all the stuff that he did.
Mm-hmm.
And so I believe him. I believe him. He sounded earnest to me.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, that's all.
Well, I mean, you can't argue with him. He's not here to defend himself.
Well, I just can't believe people going down in that hole. That is like.
Well, now they have a staircase. Oh, girl. Now everything's been totally redone.
It's a great staircase, except it has no railings to hold on to.
Look
at it. It doesn't have any railings.
Dawn's a craftsman, but no, I mean, I couldn't imagine knowing the history of abuse Candace has with children, because we know that she lost children in Wisconsin. We know the boys had been taken. I can just speak for myself. Okay. This isn't about Kathy. I'm just saying, for me, I would not move someone into my house and pay all their bills and let them be around my children and subject them to that. That's just me, though. That's just me.
Well, did you know that?
Was like, yeah, because Donnie sleeps naked and I had to put a cover over him.
Well, sometimes me and Candace spot. You know, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. Our marriage ain't perfect. We fight. Stupid bitch.
Oh, they just seen that. They just seen you punch me in my throat.
Whatever. One thing I know about Summer is she would say, "Stop, stop. Hey, let's get along."
And so he used a old trick to where he would ask you to say stop. Is that correct?
Yes.
Stop. Okay, hold up. I'm using Summer's words. Stop. Well, I have to take a shower every night because I work in drywall.
Right.
Well, I have to take a shower every night because I work in drywall. And he's yelling at PG, which, not going to lie, those are some really good shows. And he goes, I'm using Summer's words. Stop. Oh. That's Summer's words? Why would Summer have to say stop to anyone? I understand kids say no, or I want a cookie, I want pizza, I want this for Christmas. You ask them to do something, they're going to say no. But stop is a different, that is a different command for a child.
I'm like, get your little punk ass. Stop.
I'll tell you something in a minute, Brooks.
Every night because I work in drywall.
Right.
So I'm like, get your little punk asses in here, and we'd all rinse off together real quick. You know, I don't want my little girl with freaking candy all over her, sleeping next to me. You know, and plus she ain't gonna sleep good unless she's clean. I did it out of love.
How big is your shower?
I mean, it's like one of them, you know, I don't know, it's not that big. It's kind of hard to fit. I've had every one of my kids in there with me.
Mm.
They're all of them, all four of them plus me.
Takes a shower with all the kids.
All
you have to do is take your shower, get your dirty drywall off of you, and say the shower's still running. Each of you jump in. I'll towel the boys off if they need. And then Candace, can't, will get Summer out. But oh no, all four of them in the shower. I'm like, what the hell? Or, I mean, are you at the Mirage in Las Vegas at the shower that fits like 8 people? What the hell are you doing? Nothing in that house is big except for their habits and their depravity.
We had such a great love for each other. She loved me, and I don't know why I've never had someone love me that much in my life. And so it's been awesome between me and her. And she loved me unconditionally. She loved me more than nobody has loved me like my daughter has.
Somebody help me.
It just blew my
Somebody help me.
Yeah.
You know, could love an asshole like me, but she loved me.
Candace was jealous of that little baby.
Why though? Why would
Because that baby was getting Donnie's attention.
I don't know why she was just so attached to me like that. I've never had.
Because you wouldn't leave her alone. I'm not buying it. Here's the comment of the day. She said, I have a large shower, but not big enough for 4 kids and a grown-ass geezer. Woo-hoo-hoo! Oh my gosh. I'm not buying it. Has just flat out said she likes to shower alone if everybody caught her.
Yeah, I'm not buying it. Just think, well, at Summer's height, what her vision was. What was she looking straight at?
I got in a lot of trouble for saying that. I got in a lot of trouble for
I got a lot of trouble for calling 911 on them one night.
Well, you shouldn't. There's nothing.
Well, I'll talk to you about that later.
Well, no. We're
Because
sitting here right now. How come you called 911? You don't have to tell the whole story. You can.
they were in a big fight, and I was afraid because I could hear some noise going on, like smacking and fisting and everything else, and screaming and oohing and on the phone. I did have Candace's number at one time, but I took it out. I was like, no, not that, not what she told me. I'm not. Anyway, that's another story we've already discussed partially. But going back to what was I on? Shower? The shower? Oh, no. Calling 911. Yeah. And I called them. I said, I need to please have a welfare check. And I told them what 10 Mid Hill Road. And I said, there's something going on. The phone's been laid down and I'm still listening. And maybe that was done intentionally so I would hear it. I don't know. But anyway, I called them. I guess they went out. People were pissed at me for doing that. Pissed at me for calling. I'm a mandated reporter. I'm supposed to report abuse. I would not feel right inside if I did not. So I
Can
did.
you say who was mad at you? I'm going to go ahead and say Don and Candace probably weren't happy, but who else? You said people.
I don't want to mention creators' names out here, please.
Oh, well, you can. You're up here. It'd
No.
be interesting to know who had the nerve to drag you for doing the right thing. When you get drugged on YouTube, it's because you did the wrong thing.
Gosh. There are a lot of people, many creators, that really got PO'd at me about that.
Well, you
Really.
certainly didn't hear me say it.
No, you never said anything you've never said anything negative to me, Brooks. Ever. You've always been kind to me. I love you. I love your channel. I love your
girlfriend.
I love your chat. I love your moderators. That's the sweetest chat anybody could ever have. And somebody in the chat already guessed it.
Oh yeah, I think I already
before I made a animal sound.
Moo.
That's the way it goes.
There you go. Get a cowbell. Oh my God, Easy Sherry! Thank you for the super sticker. And I'm just using your name because you're up here.
Well, that's
getting Donnie's attention.
I don't know why she was just so attached to me like that. I've never had anything like that happen to me before, and I was just so thankful. I was just thank God. I've never had anybody love me like that. And when I had her, I parade her around like, yeah, this little girl is my girl, and she loves me. Ha ha ha. Now I don't have that.
Y'all don't understand. Everybody thinks oh, poor Summer, poor Summer. Well, Summer loves her daddy.
Well, I wished I knew who would buy a kid. I wished I knew that.
I remember many times throughout my life.
He's talking to Chris McDonough. And we're going to talk about this tomorrow because I'm going to do a show about the Lisa K. Ruitz and Ernie Shell thing. Dawn's sitting going,
no matter what people say about Lisa K, she saved his life.
Oh, I'm going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about that. Exactly. She didn't mean to. I'll go into length about it tomorrow.
Okay.
No, this didn't come from the bottom of her heart. She did a good thing without doing a good thing.
Well, it turned out well.
Exactly.
Because
she wasn't meaning to do a good thing.
Anybody walk around with a weapon and acting weird, I'm telling you, like hallucinations. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
So, Dawn is right there on McDonough's channel saying that he wishes he knew somebody that would buy a kid. He wishes he knew somebody could buy a kid. What an odd thing to say. Now, I heard a little, I'm just going to say a rumor because I certainly don't know it for fact because I haven't spoke to Fred, Ziggy, or Chris, that Chris is willing to interview Fred. But our favorite stay-at-home paralegal / detective on YouTube, Lisa K. Ruitz, has requested, I got a screenshot from somebody of it, that she wants Fred not to talk to Chris McDonough because he's already made too big of a mess out of this case. Not according to Brian Enton, because he was told, thank you for some information he gave over from an interview. And they also were just kind of shooting the shit, nothing specific about, and a lot of things came out of the McDonough interviews. So, no, she doesn't like someone getting worm before the other bird.
Loves her daddy.
Well, I wished I knew who would buy a kid. I wished I knew that.
I remember many times throughout my life, girls hitting on me. I've been to places in California where
So does he think
places where
Summer's
there
hitting
were
on
little
him?
kids, where people were trying to sell these little kids.
Is that what he thinks?
Where was he even live?
I can't help it.
He said in other places he's been, little kids have hit on him. I'm like, sure they do. Sure
I know,
they
but with the way he treats Summer, talks about Summer,
do.
do you think in his warped mind that he thought Summer was coming on to him? It's always the other person, remember?
Well, all I can say is exactly what he said about Jeannie and Mary.
Well, he talks about her like a lover.
Mm-hmm. I mean, all I can say, because he's never come out and said it, all I can say is his words, not mine. He said that, Jeannie was very hypersexual as a 5-year-old. He didn't check her driver's license. And so he thought it'd be okay to play house together because at 12, he didn't know no better. He also didn't know no better at 13, 14, or 15.
15.
Jail
or
didn't.
19 or 18 or whatever.
No. He didn't know no better when he got out of jail and him and his friends attempted to grape Mary. I guess he didn't know no better at 41 when he broke into a house and got a pair of panties. So, I mean, a long history of him being the victim, as he said, I'm the victim here. I'm the victim here. What scares me for this world and society is people that actually agree with him, that he has in some way been victimized. Hey, if he has absolutely nothing to do with Summer's disappearance, I will say, yeah, he's definitely a victim.
Some people made friends with him trying to get information.
Okay.
That was the intent at the beginning.
Okay. I mean, real smart. Sell your soul to the devil to get some juicy gossip from Dawn that you can't do anything with.
I'm not gossiping. I'm just telling you.
No, not you. I'm just speaking in jest. You know what I mean?
Yes.
No, not you.
Well, I got some places and they were just dumbfounded.
Yeah, well, there's all kinds of places that you can look, but
I even asked them if I could pose as a sicko for them and see what we could come up with. They're like, oh, no. But,
pose?
I knew.
What do you mean pose? Pose?
Don wanted to go undercover as
What do you mean pose?
He wanted to go undercover as a pedo file. He wanted to go undercover and again pose as a ped-o-file.
Why does he say pose?
Oh, well, that's exactly what
well, you know what I'm alluding.
That's exactly what Boston said. He doesn't need to pose. and that he's going to crack these.
Exactly.
He's going to crack these rings and stuff like that. He goes, and they're like, "Oh, no, we can't let you do that." How? I mean, what? How would? I mean, if you're not wired that way, how would you even know what to do?
Yeah. Think about that. That's another one for you, Brooks.
Yep. Seems to me he must know the ropes. You know, like
He
when.
knows it. He knows exactly what he's doing. He's just, his mind is warped. He's done. He probably has mental illnesses. I would bet he does, and he has substance abuse. You put mental illness with substance abuse, and you've got chaos, walking chaos.
And I just say, so be all of that. That statement right there to me hit me in the gut, right up there with Camp Kent telling Jinkies she was afraid her and Donnie were going to get SA charges. I wouldn't even know how to react to someone saying that to me. I've been like, what do you mean?
Can you imagine Jinkies hearing that? She
That's
was so taken aback. She didn't know how to react.
Who would?
She was like, I can't believe she just told me this. Oh my God, this is the end of that. I mean, she wasn't really a friend anyway. It was other people that were friends with her.
I mean, I'm just going to make a name up. I'm not going to pick a name because I certainly don't want it to get misconstrued. I'll just say Lucy.
No, let's not mention other creators. It's always better.
No, I'm not mentioning a creator. It's my channel anyway. Let's just say my friend Lucy calls me.
I like your attitude. It's my channel anyway.
I like you too, Spicy. Let's just say my friend Lucy calls me. By the way, I don't have a friend named Lucy. And says, oh, yeah, I signed my kids over. Glad that's done. Because I was afraid me and my husband were going to get SA charges. I'd go, first thing I would ask, what's an SA charge? Even though I know. But I wouldn't think that my friend would be worried about it. And
if it was neglect or something like that, it wouldn't be so shocking. But those charges, she was taken aback. That's all I can tell you.
She was so taken aback, she couldn't even ask, why would you think? She was just like, got to get away. And I would be the exact same way. I can't. I don't know what I would do first. I don't know if I would jump in the shower and scrub myself like Meryl Streep in Silkwood, or if I would have to sleep for a while, if I would just stay away from people for a long time, that would put me over the edge. That somebody I know, somebody that I'm friends with or friendly with, I don't know, depends on the mood I am. I mean, I might, I'm an overreactor. Okay, I am. And no, I am. So if I heard something like that, it would probably turn into, fuck you mean? You were afraid.
It would keep you up at night, wouldn't it, baby?
What exactly would you be afraid of? Or I would go into another mode of mine, which is just total shutdown. Just depends on how old Brooks's hormones are doing that day.
5 months prior,
I cut
that
off
something
ties.
was going to happen this summer because an angel told me.
Did you think she would be kidnapped?
Jay said, I thought it was supposed to be innocent until proven guilty. Yes.
Well, they're innocent because an angel visited Dawn.
Oh, I did not know angels visit him. No, innocent until.
That's what he said.
Well, Dawn's an idiot. So I know what you're saying, Jay, and the truth is, in a court of law, you are innocent until the gavel goes down and the jury speaks, until the fat lady sings. In civilized society, obviously, we can't say someone is for sure innocent or for sure guilty.
And we don't. We put out theories. Everything we're talking about is speculation or a theory, and we're not trying to prove guilt with anybody. We're not the lawyers. And we're not the judge, so we're not trying to prove people are guilty. Okay, we're
No,
just
no, no,
talking.
no, nobody's proven here. Trust me.
We're talking about information.
We're just going over information. And you are so right about this, Jay. What the heart feels, the mouth speaks. You are
Yes.
so right about that.
Yes, you are.
Every story I have heard about the abuse that these people have endured at the hands of Dawn and Candace goes straight from my broken heart from these children, spews out my mouth because it's horrific. It's horrific.
It hurt. It
Never,
hurts.
not like that. Okay. No.
I hope this is over soon, and I hope they find her. And
It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna.
yeah,
This is gonna be an ongoing fucking thing, you know. And
We don't sue people in this chat.
Can't be mad at law enforcement either because they was thinking the same things that you told that everybody else was, and we've all been down that road. I even remember questioning to myself at one point.
Would you want to see this person in prison?
Strange answer.
I don't know if I could do that, to be honest with you.
Yeah. No,
It just depends on all the circumstances, you know. Like,
Somebody has hurt her, probably 3, maybe 8 out of her, probably killed her.
what do you think should happen?
I have to leave it to God, you know, and I know what prison's like.
yeah,
There's not gonna be, they're not gonna find her.
yeah.
She's being treated somewhere or dead. I don't know which.
And I have mercy for anybody who's in prison.
And because of all the pressure and YouTube and the TV shows and everything else, they probably wanted to get rid of the evidence, and they probably killed her.
You think you're gonna be the person in the end that gets in trouble for someone?
Oh, it's very possible.
Okay, right there. Cher had him on the spot. I don't care what anyone says. This is just my opinion. Cher played him like a fiddle from the Goodwill. And she said, do you think in the end you're going to be the one that gets the charges? He said, oh, it's very possible. Yeah.
Don't give up on Van Hill yet, please.
Oh, no, that's going to take a long time.
Boston, please don't. There's a lot of sifting to be done. There's a lot of particles to be collected, looked under a microscope. Can you imagine 2 dump truck loads to have to go through at Quantico, Virginia, with the FBI forensics team?
Well, and we
it's
also
going
don't
to take
know.
a lot.
Well, and we also don't know if the search on Van Hill Road doesn't lead them to another site and another site. But they're sure about something, or they would not have put it out the way they did. But the ending mark right there, Cher asks him, do you think in the end you're going to get in trouble? And he said, oh, it's very possible. Yeah. I would be like, hell no. I wasn't even home. What are you talking about? Just look at who cooperates with the case and who doesn't. We already know who those people are. Let's look at who never changes their story. Okay, that's a hard one to find because Jody Sue has changed it up. Fred has changed it up. There's a lot of people that have changed it up. Look at who advocates for Summer, wants to talk about Summer, and who doesn't. Look at who makes excuses for Dawn.
Exactly.
And who doesn't.
Oh, Infinity, I'm so sorry. I'm so very sorry. Yes, go where you need to go, okay, baby?
Yep.
I'm
And
so
everyone's
sorry.
going to go where they need to go because I am ending the show. But again, I want to say thank you to all of you for being here. I want to say, Nana for life, if you need anything, just let me know. We're friends on Facebook, okay? I know that you have got a lot of time and money tied up in what you're doing. Gas is not free,
No.
paper is not free, ink is not free, okay? But you know what is free? Fucking
And
harassment from Don, and he knows how to spoon it out.
if these go up and then they come back down, Nana, I've got your phone number.
Mhm.
I just haven't called you yet, okay, baby? Because we have something to discuss. And Brooks, thank you again for letting me up. Moderators, you do a good job. You're great. And chat, you're some of the nicest people I've ever met. And with that, I will say, see you later.
Love you, Sherry. Mir,
Love
Sherry.
you. I love you. Beer Brooks.
And Mau Mau, thank you for being a member for 6 months. Stacy, sending out those crime lines and lies memberships like a champ. Angie Baby, thank you so much for the super sticker. Look at Sarah. Lord, please let Summer be found ASAP. Not only been a member, but been a friend that cracks me up for 28 months. There's Cat OG. Woo! Thank you for the super sticker. Angel P put out the red carpet and said, Mir, I got memberships for you. And Preschool Granny has been a member for 46 months. Hopefully, everyone likes their new badges and has a great rest of your day. I was planning 2 shows, but I've got some stuff to do this afternoon that I can't get away from. I wish I could get away with not doing it, but you know what they say. So I will be back tomorrow with 2 shows, okay? And the morning show, well, I'll talk about it in Discord. You guys have a great rest of your day. Nobody likes Mondays, even if it's Metabolism Monday. But just know that you guys are my friends, and I appreciate the hell out of you being here. You haven't given up on Summer, and you haven't given up on this channel, and I love you for it.